Okay, so over the weekend, I had the opportunity to play the Anthem demo, even though I'm not sure why they labeled it as such, but whatever. My overall impressions is a good one. If I had to rate the demo on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it a 7. There's some good, there's some bad, and in this impressions video, I will go over as many as I can. I was only able to play the Ranger in the storm. I do have some Colossus footage in the background that was given to me by my brother, but I might do a class review once the game actually launches. Here we go. Alright, so in the demo, you get like 2 or 3 story missions, 1 stronghold, and free roam. The missions did seem a little short and the story was forgettable, at least from my point of view, but the boss fights were good and we acquired a lot of loot at the end of missions. I hope that carries over into the final game because, you know, these companies like to stall progressions and all that. The stronghold is like a mini strike with the boss at the end. It was fun. It's just a shame that higher difficulties is basically just ramping up the HP on enemies, and from what I can see, that's all there is to it. Now, free roam is where most of my concerns come into play because the open world seemed a little dead and was a little boring for stretches, but the scenery looks nice and the world events are cool and fun to play, especially with friends. Something else about the open world I didn't like was how enemies would disappear mid-fight. It happened with regular enemies and it happened with bosses. Even during that Shaper Storm, the big event that happened on Sunday, even the Ash Titan disappeared on me, man. No bueno, and I wasn't able to find one after that. There was a ton of lag in the open world, which is probably the reason why the enemies were disappearing anyway, so I hope that's ironed out for their official release. And maybe I'm tripping, but there seemed to be a lot of loading screens, too many loading screens. And man, I know the map wasn't fully accessible, but invisible walls or even teleport me back to a safe spot would have been better than making me reload the loading screen every time I flew off course even slightly. But overall, the open world was prettiful, and there seems to be a decent amount to discover, and it's probably the most, actually, it is the most vertical game I've ever played. There is a ceiling though, it kind of acts like corridors. I don't know. I like to call it a hamster maze because I had a hamster as a kid. Whatever, don't judge me. Alright, so some overall good and bad. The AI seems a little bit off, like when you're fighting those enemy javelins, they seem to just take bullets to the face. I mean, they were kind of difficult because they hit hard and all that, but yeah, I don't know, it's weird. The hub town is uninteresting and dull, and the pace at which you walk in the hub city, I don't know what the main character looks like. They do that on purpose, obviously. But I can picture this dude walking around with Thug Life glasses on, pointing at everybody like, bro, chill. You ain't that dude like that, you feel me? Okay, so flying feels good, it's responsive. There's a slight learning curve though, like I gotta break a few habits so that way I can start running in the walls, but overall, I like it. Gunplay feels nice. The balance between weapons and specials is a welcome change. I can't think of any games off the top of my head that uses both of them equally, so we'll see how that pans out. The difficulty also feels balanced and it encourages solid team play and combo synergy. In conclusion though, the game has a lot of potential. I feel like Anthem has a very, very strong foundation which it can build for future updates. You know, more javelins, more in-game content with more variety in that in-game content, which is very important because at launch, they say we're only gonna have 3 strongholds. 3 strongholds. We did 1 in the demo. It was pretty cool. 3, so we're gonna have 3 strongholds. We're gonna have the open world. We're gonna have something called legendary contracts. I hope that's enough. They say their raid equivalent is coming later on. We'll see. I've grown to dislike games as a service recently over the years because most of it is just awful, but if done right, it actually could be a good thing. Now we understand the idea behind microtransactions and your battle passes and all that, but guess what? I think you can monetize beyond the game's release without bending the consumer over. Overall, I like the game. I just hope EA can stay out of their own way, and maybe we could have something we could play for years and years and years. I think it has the potential, man. This is Bawse from World Boss Squad. This is my very first review. It's a little messy. Yeah. So that's basically what it is. Peace!